Powered by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time. What's next on the sheet here?
Running back.
RB. Okay. We've already talked about Jeremiah Love, and we haven't even done running back yet. So,
All right, let's
clearly,
go to tight end now.
Yeah. Clearly the 101 in the rookie class. Going to go high, going to go top 10, probably top 5.
Yeah.
In the NFL draft. Transcendent talent. The comps that I've seen are like Bijan, Emmitt Smith. It's just like extremely high level running backs, like basically can't miss guys. After that, we all have Jadarian Price, right?
Yep.
We've talked about him a lot. Really good rushing profile. The receiving profile, he just wasn't asked to do in college. Chad, I think he can do it. Austin, I think you're on the fence.
He's okay. He's not good after the catch, but he seems like he can catch.
I think we all agree that he's most likely going to be all of our RB2 in the class. It's just where the draft capital is, what the situation looks like. The one thing I could say, though, is if one of these other guys goes to Seattle, does that jump him up over Jadarian Price if Price doesn't go to as clean of a situation?
No.
Okay.
Because why would I take a back that I think is less talented than Kenneth Walker that goes to the team that killed Kenneth Walker?
Fair enough.
I would not be very excited about that. I know probably the Dynasty community might, just because.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a CEH type rise, especially if it's in round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about, if that's like a Fugazi landing spot.
Like if Mike Washington goes there at the end of the first, the community is going to go crazy. And I think it's possible. I'm not going to rule it out.
That would be an addition to my do not draft before the third round list. Actually, no. I mean, Mike Washington's going to go before the third round for me. All right. So Jadarian Price, if he goes, are we expecting him to go in the top 50?
Yes. I think that's the hope. I don't have that expectation, but I think that is the most realistic outcome, is he flirts with that top 50 pick.
I think there's been a lot of talk of him going round 1.
Realistically, if he goes anywhere, up to the top of the third round, we're still in.
Yeah, I'm good. As long as he's a top 2 round pick. And preferably the second running back off the board, but at the same time, I don't really care about that much either.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't care about that either.
I don't care what one team thinks about one back, if they take a guy over. All right, so Jadarian Price will most likely be a 107 or later rookie pick for us, right? 107 to 112.
Yeah,
is the range.
I would say probably 106 for me. And if he goes in the first, there's a chance for certain leagues I take him 105. Wow. But yeah, just depends.
Okay. Let's see.
And this is where it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I have Mike Washington next, but I don't have a lot of conviction on that. I don't think he's the next best running back. I just think he's going to get some pretty good draft capital. And if he, the next 4 players are all like a tier for me. Really 5. I can throw Singleton in there too. So if he gets a clean landing spot and good draft capital, I'll be interested in him at the top of the second round. But I can say the same thing for Katron Allen, Jonah Coleman, and to a lesser extent, Emmett Johnson. Just because he can be a pass catching back that does have some value. He would be more of a mid-second.
Yeah, honestly, Katron Allen's probably the one that excites me the third most in this class. I currently have Jonah Coleman ahead of him because I think he's probably a safer prospect. But I mentioned pre-show, Katron Allen to me is a not as good Quinshon Judkins. That's how I see him on tape.
I mentioned before, I think he's Gus. What was his name? What was his last
Gus
name?
Edwards.
Gus
Gus
Edwards.
the Bus.
I think he's Gus the Bus Edwards, yeah.
I think he's a very solid running back. I don't think he's very good out of the backfield as a receiver, but a first and second down guy that can get you what you ask for and every once in a while get you 20 yards.
Guys that are becoming more popular in the league as teams go with these bigger sets, those bigger running backs are getting run. How do you see the next tier of running backs, Chad?
Same way I saw them 2 months ago. Yuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all gonna be draft capital for me. I would not be surprised if the two top backs go in some between round 1 and round 2, and then from there on we don't see another back until the 4th round. Like I think that's possible.
Yeah,
I don't at all. I think Mike Washington tested himself into day 2 capital.
But there's still some of these, like, just from how it's being like mocked and stuff, like how these insiders are talking, it's still like they're still doubtful that he goes super early in the draft. And like that's the thing
watching
that is
the tape, I agree. I'm just
saying what they're saying. Like obviously I don't have any sources, right? I'm just saying these guys are talking to people, and obviously it could be smokescreen because I watch tape. I don't see a second round player, but they're still saying like there's a possibility he goes, round 4, could go round 2, could go round 3, but he's by no means a lock, right? So I think if there was a back that goes in the 2nd or 3rd round, after Jadarian Price, then it's going to be either Mike Washington or Jonah Coleman. But at that point, for me, it's really just about hitting the value play on the next guy, unless it's a supreme landing spot, and rolling with that. Because I don't think either one are. I think Jonah Coleman's probably a better player, but I just don't think they're startable NFL running backs
for the long term.
I just don't see it. Yeah, for the long term. Yeah, not saying they can't, start 8 games in the NFL, but
yeah, they can be Woody Marks. It's kind of how that's been like my threshold for them is they can be the guy that comes in as a starter, gets hurt, and plays the remainder of the year, looks kind of good. And then the team's going to quickly say, okay, we're going to upgrade this position.
Jerome Ford, Damian Pierce,
yeah, like those kind of players. That's what I see with the rest of this class. At like, and I mean, there's some value in that, right? Because Damian Pierce was worth quite a bit of value. But as long as you know what these guys are from a talent perspective,
right?
Even if they start getting that hype, you can get rid of them and get some value. So that, to me, that's where the value in this class lies.
Yeah, I had one Woody Marks share that I got, I think, in the late 3rd round last year. I traded him as soon as I could get a couple seconds for him. He was off my roster.
Yeah.
But I don't think Mike Washington gets past San Fran in the 3rd. He's just Shanahan is such a sucker for that type of player.
Yeah, I think he's safe day 2 now. I hear Chad, but that somebody is going to fall in love with somebody that big that fast. That just teams do it every year after year.
I mean, Isaac Render, I hate saying his name.
Garendo.
Yes, Isaac went in the 4th round, and he tested better.
Yeah.
He was also not as good a player.
Correct. And that was also a better class, wasn't it?
I don't know about
Mike Washington's a better receiver.
I don't know about better player, to be honest with you.
Better receiver.
I think he's in a much worse class.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. Really, is Garindo, if I'm not mistaken, was in a pretty good class, so he's going to be more likely to fall off later into day 3. Whereas this, teams are going to be needy. I mean, you can look now, there's still teams that need running back help, quite a bit of them. So these guys probably get inflated up a little bit from where they should.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see a run on these guys in 4th.
Yeah.
Just how running back goes these days.
Yeah, we'll see. I do like Katron Allen a little bit. It will be interesting to see, how high draft capital he gets.
These guys are all but players. They're really good at this, but they're really Katron Allen's really good running back, but he can't catch. Jonah Coleman's a really good running back and can probably catch, but he's slow.
Really slow.
Like there's butts with all the rest of these guys. So serious flaws, and just the talent level isn't great.
It kind of sucks. Like Nick Singleton, I was playing C2C in Devi when he came into college, and he was like the name coming out.
Yeah, he was a top guy,
and still is an athletic freak. He just never got it together on the field.
He was supposed
looked good
to
as a freshman, but Katron Allen also looked good as a freshman. So they kind of duoed their entire career.
But Singleton was supposed to come in and relegate Katron and never did. Like he never supplanted him like he should have.
Nick Singleton will be that player that if he makes his way to an NFL team that for some reason starts him, whether that's due to injury or what have you, and he finds his way on the field and he's in back of a good offensive line, he's going to look really good, and I'm going to sell him everywhere because if he has a big hole, like that is an explosive athletic player. Like he's going to look really good. He just has no vision, man.
Yeah. This is Miles Sanders. Same college too.
Yeah.
Elite blindness. It's a
talent
power.
Yeah.
But
I would even argue Miles Sanders is probably, not even probably.
Definitely.
Miles Sanders was a much
better
better player than Nick Singleton was, but yeah.
Out of all of these guys, though, he's got the highest upside. The problem is he's also got the lowest floor. He's got the floor of just
the NFL will tell us what somebody thinks about him. As long as he doesn't go late day 3, I'm going to have some shares, I think.
Even if he does, I'm going to have some shares just because I'll get them late.
In this class, sure, but I kind of mean shares that matter. Like I'll spend a little bit of draft capital on him. Whereas if he goes late day 3, if he's available in the late 3rd, sure. But yeah, after that, for me, I don't really care about a single back in this class. There may be one that becomes good, but I don't feel confident enough to say the name. I put a couple more just to kind of fill out a spot, but like I don't really like any of them. Like not even to the Woody Marks level. Like, ugh.
I mean, Seth McGowan a little bit in that bruiser sort of. Who is the guy? Zach Moss, like sort of a Zach Moss, like bruiser, can catch the ball a little bit type of.
Yeah.
Let's move on to tight end.
There we go. Good position.
All right. We all obviously have Sadiq as our number 1 tight end. Let me just double check, Chad. Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, we all have the same top 3.
Yep.
So, Chad, you came around on Max Clare. Before we talk about Max Clare,
no, he came around on
Max Clare. I was higher on Clare.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard you talk about him, so or not much anyway. But let's talk about Sadiq first, and just what's the highest you could see yourself taking him, and how comfortable would you be taking him there?
What's the premium?
Let's do 0.5.
0.5. Yeah.
0.5. Highest is 6th pick.
Yeah, same here.
And how comfortable are you with that pick?
Yeah, that's fine.
You're good.
Pretty comfortable. Okay.
Yeah. We already know that Jadarian Price could challenge for that spot. Are there any other players that could challenge for that 106 for you?
Yeah.
For me, it's
Yeah, there's
Cooper.
a bunch of players.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Denzel Boston, Omar Cooper, Chris Bell, Casey Concepcion. Just draft
Okay.
capital.
Gotcha.
That's all it is.
How about you?
Draft
Austin?
capital, and also how the Dynasty community feels about the player, right? Because if you don't have to take somebody 106, you don't have to take him 106.
Right.
Those three receivers, Chris Bell probably not until he's healthy, which I'm not going to get that opportunity to draft him when he's healthy. But if an NFL team drafts him in the first, then he'll at least be in the thought process there. But yeah, it's those three receivers for me. It's not Jadarian Price unless he goes in the first. Sadiq in the first. So as a Panther fan, I've recently had to do a ton of rewatching on Sadiq because every fan in the world feels like he's going to be the pick now at 19 because they kind of plug their biggest needs in the free agency. So like the next big need is finding a weapon. And I just keep going back and forth on how excited I am for him. Some days it's a lot. Some days I'm like, no way in heck I'm taking him at 19. Today's one of those days where I'm excited for him. I think I think he's a plus blocker. Obviously a freak athlete. But he doesn't have the production that we see from most tight ends that come out and produce high levels.
That's what scares me too.
The only name that he comps with in the past decade at the position is Noah Fant. Their metrics are almost identical. Their testing's almost identical. Now, Sadiq is a much better blocker, so he will be on the field considerably more. But everything else profile-wise is very similar to Noah Fant. So that's a
huge miss.
That's a yellow flag for sure. But he is going to change an offense. He is going to be a weapon for an NFL offense, and he's going to get the draft capital. So for that case, he's a clear one for me today. Don't ask me tomorrow. I may watch some more and get pissed off and, may say Max Clare can flirt with the one for me in the position. So I don't know.
Max Clare's not getting there for me. I mean, I like Max Clare. He's definitely my two. I can't Stowers was my two to start this process.
Same.
But then I watched him and he couldn't block me. So, Max Clare's a complete tight end that can do everything. And I like his receiving skills. I really want the Eagles to take him. I think we'd have to use our second on him.
Oh yeah.
I'd really like to see the Eagles take him at the end of the second.
I wouldn't be shocked if Max Clare went at the end of the first round. Like I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a very good player.
Yeah,
he's another guy that just didn't get any production though. But I mean, what Ohio State tight end gets production? I'm willing to lump him into sort of a not as talented, not nearly as talented, but sort of like a Loveland sort of category where I know he's talented. He just didn't get the run, because of the team.
Yeah, I think he's a really good complete tight end. I think he is going to absolutely improve the NFL offense quickly. I think he's going to be able to step in year one and be used as a starter, which is great for a rookie tight end.
If he goes in the second, I'd rather have him. Like if he goes in the second of Dynasty rookie drafts, I'd rather have him than Kenyon Sadiq at the 106.
Yes, absolutely.
Even if it's I think, me too. I think
I can agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I just see he's like a Tucker Kraft kind of player, like a just do it all. He's going to be out there every play, making all the necessary blocks, and is a really good player as a pass catcher. I think he's really good at it. So I'm very excited about him. He's the kind of player that goes under the radar because he doesn't have like the Evan Ingram, Kenyon Sadiq, David Njoku kind of numbers testing, but he is like the type of tight end that works in the league. That we just see it just works.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about him.
Dallas Goedert. Maybe not as fast as Dallas Goedert, but
I don't have a problem with that. I don't know. He feels complete. He's the more we talk about him, the more I don't want the Panthers to spend 19 on Sadiq. This is what happens. I watch Sadiq, I get excited, I think about Claire, or I think about one of these other guys we're about to talk about, and I'm like, well, they don't need to spend 19 on him because they're just not that far apart for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kenyon Sadiq is all like upside, right? But
yeah,
I mean, you could make the argument he wasn't even the best tight end on his team, which I mean is not saying a whole lot because there's another really good tight end on his team. But I mean, I don't know. Like, there's just periods where you watch Kenyon Sadiq and he's very athletic, and that's what you get out of it. He's very, very athletic.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to. Like I said, I'd be more than happy to spend the 106 on him in a tight end premium league. But if Max Clare gets the draft capital, I mean, give me him in the second round every day of the week.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm with you. All right. All right. So, anything you want to say about Stowers that we didn't already say, Chad?
No, not really. I think you guys like him more than I do.
Okay.
I want to say he's probably my most volatile player at the position. I could see him flirting with tight end 2 in the class or tight end 6 in the class. And I think capital and landing spot's going to make a big difference with that. I'm really worried he's going to be a team's tight end 2 or like move tight end only.
Yeah.
And so you're going to see, 40 to 60% of snaps for his early career. I mean, he can develop. I mean, we tight ends typically take a few years. We've been lucky these past couple of years, but overall, most tight ends take 2 or 3 years to see their progression start. And I think he could be that if he doesn't go in the right system.
His ceiling to me is like Laporta or Kincaid. His floor is like Luke Musgrave. Or who was the one that went to Dallas and could never beat out Ferguson? Schoonmaker.
It's a pretty low floor.
Guys that I liked that didn't make it, because they're one-dimensional. But his ceiling, I just don't. It's just capped, unless he goes to a team that is going to make him their full-time slot receiver. I don't know. I just don't see that. I don't really see that happening. But unless that happens, his ceiling is capped.
I do want to say the production is there, and the analytics are absolutely there. So he actually profiles as an analytics side up there with the elite tight end prospects. I think our worry is that he isn't on the field enough to show that.
Right.
Because he's up there with like Bowers and Fannin last year as production profiles. Yards per route run is almost 3 yards per route run for a tight end. That's ridiculous. So, he has some numbers to see why you can see a ceiling profile. It's just, is he going to be there enough?
Actually, now that I think about it, there is a comp for him that could work, and that would be Gadsden. Because they're not asking Gadsden to go out there and block people.
Yeah, that's kind of what you're wanting.
Barely playing tight end, but I mean, teams just aren't really doing that much. Like that's why, you got to wait for the landing spot on those kind of guys.
Right, exactly. All right, Michael Trigg is my 4th and your 4th, Austin. Just an athletic monster. He didn't test at the combine. God, I wish he had.
Yeah. He's another Debbie guy.
Yeah, right. He's been around
was
forever.
A big name coming out. Had a really good freshman season, got hurt, and was kind of never the same production-wise. Always had moments. But yeah, athletic specimen. We call him an average blocker. I think he's good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
I don't think he's going to be a team's tight end 1 early on, but he can absolutely develop into that. He's got the size to do it as well. That's one thing with Stowers we didn't mention is he doesn't have the size currently to be a 1. Trigg does, but I have him in a big tier. I ended up ranking 9 tight ends, and to be honest, they're all kind of in the same tier from here, 4 through 9. I kind of like aspects of every single one of them, but they all have their question marks.
Now, the only reason I put him above Roush, because I think Roush is currently a better player. I just Triggs' upside is just so much higher. He's like literally he could be the tight end one if he were to put it all together.
Yeah, he has moments of Antonio Gates, and I know that's a ginormous comparison name, but like you watch him and if you watch his highlights, you say, "Yo, that dude's legit."
Yeah, if he were to ever really put it all together, he could be that kind of player. I agree.
But that's a big if, and I'm not trying to say that's what he would be. Just he is that profile of a tight end.
But I would absolutely take a swing on a guy like this mid-second.
Yeah, I'm hoping for late second. I think that's kind of more where I would want to be, kind of where we got Arroyo and Ferguson last year.
Yeah.
You know, whereas I think the first three guys were looking more towards where we drafted these early to mid second guys. I'm aiming for this next group to be my late second or third round picks. That's kind of where I'm at with Trig.
Yeah, mid second is fine for me, but I was taking those guys mid second last year as well. But Roush is sort of a floor play. Roush is a really good player, man. He can block.
Floor play?
Well, I don't mean that to be. That just came out wrong. I just think he's a really good, solid player right now, Sam Roush.
Yeah,
I just think he's going to come in and be a good player in the NFL. I just don't think that he's going to be, a top 5 tight end in
I think he has one of the highest upsides of any of the tight ends in this class. Really? I like him a lot. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, outside of the arm length thing, that's really the biggest knock on him. We just haven't seen a tight end, come into the league with arms like a T-Rex, which is what he has. But I mean, he's a dominant blocker. He's an incredibly athletic player. He runs routes really well. He has really no holes in his game outside of, the arms he was born with. So I mean, he's been playing football with those short arms for a very long time, and he's been really good at it. So I want to see what he looks like in the league. The only reason I have him 4 and don't have him higher is because I just don't know what kind of draft capital he's going to get. I mean, he's 270 pounds, ran a 4.7 flat.
Yeah. So
that is crazy.
He did hit the threshold. I always want to bring up when we tight end, sorry, Chad, is for fantasy production, almost every top 5 tight end goes 4.7 or below. And I know 40s don't matter, except for tight ends, they do. You can look back in the past, almost every single one. I think there's like one outlier a year kind of thing, but they pretty much all have 4.7 flat, not 4.7 something, 4.69, 4.7 flat or better numbers in the 40.
Outside
and he is 270 pounds.
Yeah, he's huge.
And 38.5 vert. I mean, he is an athletic freak. And I love everything about him as a player. If he gets draft capital, he'll probably be one of my most owned players in Dynasty coming out of the class.
So I do think Max Clare is like a smoother, more natural pass catcher, and that's why I like him better. But outside of him, I think Roush is the best football player out of all the tight ends.
Yeah, I think he has the potential very early on to find himself, like I said, if he gets the draft capital, to be the tight end on a team, just because he's a physical monster, and he plays the position well.
That's what I meant by floor, is that I just think he's going to be able to step into the NFL and play right away.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what he's able to do. I wish, I mean, I didn't watch a lot of Stanford. I wish I had caught on to him earlier because, I watched his tape and really enjoyed it, and it just made me kind of get depressed a little bit that I didn't watch a lot of Stanford and didn't get to enjoy him in his college career as much.
I've never been depressed that I didn't watch Stanford.
I like I said, he's one of my favorite players in the class. I like Sam Roush a lot.
That's it for me. Why don't you guys talk about what you like about the rest of your list?
You hit me with your number 5, Chad. Or 6, or both.
6. Right.
This is 5.
So I've got Jack Endries, I think. Hold on, let me pull up my
That's
list.
who you have at 5.
Check
Yeah.
injuries.
Yeah, with this one, I will use the term correctly. There will be a little bit of bias,
Yeah,
because Jack
definitely
Endries
Homer.
played for Texas. But no, I think Jack Endries is a good player. He's just one of those guys I think could be a league average tight end. Nothing kind of special about him. But yeah, I mean, kind of after Sam Roush for me, it kind of takes a little bit of a drop. It's a pretty substantial tier break. So not very excited about him. I just think I think he's a good player. Could get some production out of him.
So at 6, my ceiling play is Oscar Delp. You want to talk about lack of production profile? Watch his tape and you're not going to see much. But when you find the tape that he does get involved, it looks really good. And I don't know if any of y'all saw his pro day stuff. The dude, he has ankles like a wide receiver, except for he's sized at tight end. So just an exciting upside play. It'll be somebody I take in the late 3rd, early 4th, and hope he gets the field early enough to give me some return.
Okay, right on. Both of you guys have Tanner Causiel. Who's that? Who that?
That's my upside play. Go ahead, Austin.
I'm totally fine with that as well. He was going to be another upside. That's kind of where I'm at with Justin Jolly. He's 7, Kozel at 8, and injuries at 9. They're all upside plays. I think they all have the ability to become a fantasy relevant tight end. He's an exciting player, man.
Yeah.
He's got good hands, good breaking in and out for what you want to see at a tight end, and a good enough blocker to see the field. So it's kind of what you want to see.
Who's that? Tanner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put him on my list.
If he gets into an NFL program and gains some weight, I'd be very excited to see what he looks like, because he's I mean he looks big, but what do you weigh in at? I think it was like 245 or something like that.
It was right at Sadiq, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but he plays it. He plays it.
6'7", 242.
Yeah. So he's got some.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Like he's a big guy, but he just needs to gain some weight. He needs to put some mass on him. But I'd be very excited to see what he looks like, because he's a pretty athletic player, not a ton of production. But yeah, he's right at that 4.7 kind of threshold. Just for his size, it's pretty impressive what he does, and I think he can be a pretty good pass catcher in the league. But yeah, just needs to put on some mass.
Yeah, he just needs to a little vitamin D ball. He'll be fine.
NFL's good at it.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Just go down to Colombia or whatever for a couple months in the off season. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's whole islands where you can just go do whatever you want.
It sucks because he does everything well outside of the physical parts of the tight end position, and he's 6'7". It makes no sense. So, yeah, if he can run block better, if he can, add a little physicality to his game, and find a way to, play with some more strength, I think he'd be a pretty exciting player.
He's like what Malachi Fields should be. A tight end.
Okay. I can't argue with that. All right, guys. Anything else? Anyone else you want to bring up? Any of the categories? Anybody that we missed? Anyone you just want to talk about?
Next year's class. Can we do that?
Yeah.
I didn't bring
up
up
a lot of names, and I'm gonna be honest. At least half of them I don't really care about. I forgot to say that.
I forgot Dolores Claiborne. He's got some speed.
I don't even think that's his name.
That's not his name, Jesse.
It's Demond. I call him
I was actually going to bring that up because I wasn't sure if you were serious because you actually wrote Dolores Claiborne.
Yeah, you wrote it.
It's Damon Claiborne. I call him Dolores Claiborne because that's a Stephen King novel and movie. If you've ever seen Misery, it's like a not as good version of that.
Was it in black and white?
Stephen King, dude.
He's pretty old, isn't he?
All of his stuff was 70s or later.
Oh, okay. That's not black and white time?
No, sir.
Oh, my fault.
No, sir. Ugh. Copy paste Austin old statement here.
It works.
It does. It's funny every time.
Yeah, so I laugh literally every time.
If you're trying to derail me as the host, then yes, it works.
Yeah, I literally laugh every time.
All right, okay.
Dolores.
That's it. We're in.
You're talking about Dolores.
Dolores Claiborne. No,
yeah.
He's fine.
You just want to bring his name up. That was it. You didn't want to say anything else about him.
No, I did. You guys just weren't listening. He's fine. Satellite back. He could be a backup player. He's got a little speed. Can catch the ball.
He could be a backup player. This is the 26 rookie class if I've ever heard it.
He's really fast. He's really fast.
He looked good in the Underwear Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I can say about this running back class is they are jacked, man. They all looked really good in their shorts. No, did he?
Thank you.
He's probably going to be a good kick returner, though.
Huh?
I said he's probably going to be a good kick returner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're probably right about that. Yeah, that's true.
Same thing with Branch. That's one thing with Branch. Branch is going to be a kick returner.
I did mean to bring that up. In leagues that I get significant points for that, it's, I guess, a factor. I hate admitting it.
All right. So off the clock.
Overtime. What you got for me, Austin?
Two things. One, the NCAA tournament. I love Dynasty football, but basketball is my first love. And this time of year, I will watch as much of it and all of it as I can. So I've been watching on my phone. I've been sneaking into work and watching it as much as I can on the TV in the office. And then sometimes just watching it on the TV in the office and not even sneaking. So as much of the basketball, I love the chaos. I love watching how much heart these guys play with. It doesn't have to be the best basketball. Like Jesse, me and you were talking about the UMBC game on Tuesday, the playing game. And like, I said to my dad that it was a great basketball game, and he was like, it was all right. But for me, it was great. Like the effort they play with is so much fun to watch.
It was a fun game.
So, it's just my time of year. I love watching it. And the other thing is I have gotten deep down a rabbit hole of playing an emulator on my computer. It's where you can play like classic games, and it's a disaster, to be honest. I've been playing Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green, and then playing this specific thing called Kaizo Ironmon, and it is crazy. Like, it's a lot of fun. If anybody does play the video games or the Game Boy games at some point, and you just kind of get tired of doing a regular run through, it's a lot of fun. But it's a deep rabbit hole.
When he tells you he's down a rabbit hole, like, don't get it twisted. This is not hyperbole. Like, he is texting me at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, because I finally beat the second gym boss. Like, that's how it's a lot, man. So you have to restart every time you die, and you can only use one Pokemon the entire time.
So you don't have a lot of emulators that I've played have just like a save. You can just save to a disc.
Well, I can save it, but when you die, the whole point of the game is you have to restart from the beginning.
That's what makes it hard.
Yeah, that's the point.
Create a save point right before then, and you're
that's
fine.
cheating.
No,
it's
not. It's not like it's you. If you were this is what you were signing up for. Like
this is part of the challenge.
Okay,
it's beating the entire game with one Pokemon from the jump. There's more to it. Like, it's actually all random, which is even more crazy. But yeah, you play the entire game with one Pokemon start to finish, and you can't die.
Yeah, first emulator I found. Yeah, it took up a lot of my time. I've remembered a lot of games from my childhood.
Could not put that Pong down.
A lot of them were terrible games. A lot of the Atari games that I went back and tried to play were just so bad. But a couple of them I found were just easily playable. Again, Phantasy Star 4. You guys ever get a chance to play Phantasy Star 4, an amazing game. All of the Final Fantasies, but Final Fantasy
Yeah.
7,
Those are
7
good.
is awesome.
probably the best, probably the greatest video game. Well,
How many
I
times
don't
have they
know.
remade that game?
Numerous times. But yeah, I mean, I guess up until like God of War and Assassin's Creed and Red Dead Redemption, that was always to me, the best video game ever.
Yeah, those are some good good call outs for sure.
Chad, what about you? Watch anything good?
Well,
Anything
I've
fun?
been so my kid, he gets into this my oldest kid, he's 6, and he gets into these little rabbit holes where he starts watching YouTube videos of other kids playing video games. That's a thing nowadays. And
Yeah.
so look at me sounding all old. I'm like
You do sound really old there, because I do that.
32 years old. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so he's watching these games, and these kids play these games, and he's watching this farming simulator game, and is just begging for it. And I'm like, I'm not buying you a farming simulator game, dude. Like, number one, we own a ranch, so like, go outside.
You live on a ranch. Walk outside.
Yeah, we have cows, dude. Like, but
Go raise those cows.
But no, he's super excited about it. So we got it for him. Downloaded on the PlayStation 5 and all that kind of stuff. So he's asking every day to play it now, and I'm helping him out with it. And we bought a little farm and all this kind of stuff. But I asked him, I'm like, okay, so like when we download this farming simulator, I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like, how do we start this thing off? You know, how do we get into our farm? And he's like, well, first we got to steal a tractor. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking? We're not stealing a tractor, man. And he's like, that was my plan all along. We don't steal a tractor. I don't know what to do.
No plan, no idea like to buy a tractor. Just take it.
Luckily the game lets you start off with a loan. So we started off with $1 million loan. So I'm trying to take him away from the idea of stealing a tractor. So
you didn't let him learn the consequences? That'd have been way more fun.
Well, if they like had a part of the game where, you know, they sentence you to prison, then I would have let him do it. I'm like, look, all right, buddy, that means,
man, while your character is in prison, you have to go sit in the closet. Now go.
Now for the next year, you have to sit through this 30-year prison sentence.
1 week at a time.
Yeah. No, but no, it's been a pretty fun game. He's been playing that, and I've been watching him do that, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've had time for. Farming sim.
Nice, fun. He's gonna graduate.
Those simulators are kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
This one's really good. Like, it's really realistic and everything. Yeah.
I downloaded a trucking simulator like 2 years ago. And for like 6 or 8 weeks, it was all I did in my free time. I just trucked the entire U.S. Oh, man, I had everything going. I was killing it. And then I just randomly never touched it again.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we were, so like while we're playing it, and he was wanting to like grow soybeans. And I had to like look up how you grow soybeans, what kind of like fertilizer you need. Like what kind of machinery you need to like actually, you know, harvest it and all this kind of stuff. Like, it was just a whole rabbit hole. So I'm like Googling different information on soybeans, and it's so realistic. Like, you have to do like 6 different things to be able to harvest this crap. And
it's awesome. It's a good learning tool.
One, it sounds like he's going to graduate to GTA soon. And 2,
yeah,
that's true.
2, it sounds like you might want to try to get him steered towards Texas A&M. Well, an agricultural degree.
Well, Jesse, so the one thing you have to learn about kids is that this is going to last a week. I will have spent $70 on this game. I will amass, you know, probably like 120 hours over this week into this game that we will dedicate our lives to. And then one day he'll wake up and he won't want to touch it anymore. And I'll just have to live with that.
Yeah, I still do that. So I haven't developed very well, I don't think.
What is the video game for you guys you have played out the most, like to the furthest string of what you can play a video game? I don't mean just beating it.
A lot. NBA 2K is the one I've
Okay.
absolutely played the most, but I mean Call of Duty's Halo when I was younger.
For me, it was MLB The Show.
That's a good one.
I played the franchise mode, the Road to the Show.
Yeah.
I played the franchise mode for so many seasons that there were no more major league players anymore. They were all just the simulated players that came into the draft. But I knew all of them. Like I knew them all as well as I knew Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. It's nuts. Like I was in like 2080 or 2090 or whatever. I can't remember.
I did that with Madden one year.
I did, yeah. I did that with Madden a few times.
I remember when.
Yeah, I used to go nuts with Madden with that too. I would really play it out.
The incoming rookie class was retiring. Was really cool to see like that.
Nice.
When you made it to that point, it's like, oh man, I've done it.
I did that with that. I don't know if you guys remember that NFL 2K game.
Yeah,
I played the crap out of that game. Yeah, and the like ESPN highlights and everything, and the halftime shows, that never got old. I love that game so much.
I agree. Yeah, it was a nice alternative to, because like in those days Madden wasn't great. Like Madden had hit like a lull. Those years weren't awesome. It was a nice alternative.
And it was $20 when it came out.
Right, that's true. Yeah, it was a cheap alternative too. Yeah, they were really smart to make that game.
And then
they didn't have licensing for all the players though, from what I remember.
No, they did. They did.
A few of the players were like I don't think they had Michael Vick.
Well, that was probably a reason for that during that time.
Actually, you're right.
Yeah. So no, they
a different reason.
They had the NFL license, and then what happened was a little bit of gaming history here. So Madden came out, and then right after Madden came out, 2K released that game, 2K5 with Terrell Owens on the cover, and for $20, and Madden had to come apart about it because they didn't really have any competition at the time, and it sold so well. And so what Madden did was EA went to the NFL and bought the exclusive rights. So that was 2K's last game because they didn't have the rights to make it anymore.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with NBA and 2K. They have exclusive rights.
Yep. But in that case, NBA Live sucked.
Yeah, that is true. Terrible.
So. Yeah, NBA Live was a terrible game.
Yeah.
That's why I never picked up 2K because I just got out of basketball games. Like it was not in my wheelhouse anymore.
NBA Street was awesome.
Oh, NBA Street was awesome. NFL Street was awesome.
NFL Street, that's all right. You could check guys into the boards and stuff, tackle guys into the boards. Yeah, that was a fun game. And
then you have to mention Blitz off of that.
Absolutely.
Oh, Blitz was awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But
the baseball version of that kind of game though was terrible. Where you could have a 20-minute.
You didn't like Slugfest?
You had a 20-minute fist fight on second base. It was so ridiculous.
I was winning too.
Yeah, I think I was the right age to where it was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sometimes you wanted to hit the second baseman.
Yeah. Sometimes you needed to.
Yeah.
I was the perfect age when NBA Jams came out. God, it was right before I went away. It was like a couple years before I went away.
Oh, it was the original Xbox, so whatever that equivalent to was.
I don't remember which PlayStation it was. But yeah, it was like right before I went away to college, it came out, and then in college we just had huge NBA Jam tournaments. That and the original Sega hockey NHL game, which I'm not even a hockey fan. That game was just iconic in the day.
Yeah,
92 and 93 hockey.
92 and 90. That's the year I was born. Just FYI.
I was born in 93.
Yeah, wow, 92 for me.
I graduated high school in 92.
Yeah, I think we're talking about a different NBA Jam, just so you know.
93 was my freshman year in.
Because you said you played it in college. That definitely is not the same game.
NBA I was playing Jam. The one. Who was it?
You're talking about.
It's 2-on-2. He's on fire.
Yeah. So, Chad, we're talking about that's NBA Street is the one that we're talking about where you could do like the triple alley oops and stuff like that.
I thought there
NBA Jams
was
is just 2-on-2. The
Yeah,
players had big
That's
heads.
where Peter Griffin's like corner 3,
Yes.
corner 3. That's
Yes,
NBA.
exactly.
That's the original NBA Jams.
NBA Jams. Yeah, it was such a fun game. It was like the first, like, just like, I don't even know what to call it. Just like non-realistic sports game.
Yeah, they remade it for the Xbox 360, which is where I played it. I think it was like it came out on the Xbox. That's where I played it.
Right on.
But the game I probably sunk the most time into throughout like middle school and like the beginning of high school was this game called RuneScape. I don't know if you guys had ever heard of that. It was like
I've
some
definitely
kind
heard of it. I've never played it, but
some kind of computer game. I played so much of that when I was a kid. And then got into girls. So yeah.
That's when I stopped. When we were growing up, video games were less of a thing because it was like Atari and Intellivision, and the games you could only play them for so long. We played Dungeons and Dragons as kids, and then when I found sports, I quit Dungeons and Dragons, and then when I found girls, I stopped talking about it, and it was banned from all conversation with those friends that I had. I remember specifically like when we were in our 20s, we were just like bored. We decided we were going to start playing D&D again, and we started like we were just sitting around drinking, playing D&D, and we had neighbors that were pretty good looking girls or whatever, and they came and knocked on our door. And my one roommate starts going, put everything away, it's a raid. We had to put all the Dungeons and Dragons shit away before we could let them in. They're like, what are you guys doing? We're like, watching basketball, watching hockey, whatever.
I'm definitely glad it's more accepting now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
for
more
sure.
accepting when I was in school too.
Yeah,
I mean,
same here.
Oof, not me, man. That was the kiss of death.
Yeah, we all
know,
gamed at my age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it's when I was younger, it was, you were considered just like a complete nerd if you did that stuff.
Yeah,
Which
I
I
used to
did
get,
anyway, but
I used to get in trouble because I used to play games with my buddies and stuff all the time, and like girlfriends would walk in and everybody would be ignoring them and stuff. But I mean, that's the time to do that kind of stuff. Can't do that now. So
yeah, that's why I don't play video games anymore except for on my phone, because I'm married. You know, like I should be spending that time with her, and she doesn't play video games. So if she did, we could share that kind of thing.
Should have kids, because now I have an excuse.
Yeah.
I just play.
That is true. That is true. I will say I played a little Fortnite with her youngest during COVID. That was fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, so this new game's coming out, and child, you
get
will
them
like
all
this
hyped
game.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, you will like this game. Repeat after me.
Yeah, your kids have no choice but to love Pokemon, because they will be in it. They will be immersed in it.
No, like, man, there's so much. There's so much reading in the game, right? Because there's obviously like no voice acting or anything like that. So I'm just like reading everything for him. I'm like, this is awful. Did my parents have to do this for me, or did I just like skip everything?
I
skip through it.
definitely just tapped A as many times as I could, as quick as I could, until I could move again. That's
But
definitely what happened.
He has to know what everybody says, so he'll walk up to random people in Pallet Town, and he's like, "Hey, what does this person say?" I'm like, "The person says, did you know you can pause the game and do this random like kind of thing?" It's just like a hint, or like the person says, "I love Pikachu," and so he comes up to me like 100 times a day, and he's like, "What does this say?
Oh God,
What is this guy saying?" I'm like, "Oh, it doesn't matter, man."
now you're reminding
No,
me
but
why I
it's
don't
cool.
have kids.
No, it's fun though. It's fun.
Uh-huh. So the wife and I actually went to the UMBC conference championship game against Vermont. They won and got themselves into the play-in, which they lost to Howard, but it was a really good game. But the game we went to, they won. It was really exciting. It was the first college basketball game I've ever been to, actually, and it was a blast. Really cool little arena at UMBC. My wife works there, so that's why it was exciting. That's why she wanted to go. Free tickets. So
Heck yeah.
really, really good time. And other than that, we've been watching The Pit.
Hey,
Have you
I
guys-
told you.
Have you guys been watching?
I
you
can't
guys
watch it. I
Why?
can't. Too much blood and stuff for me.
Oh, they're graphic. It's graphic.
Yeah, I know. Hannah is obsessed with it. Like, it is her favorite show.
I kind of want to go upstairs after this and start watching it again without my wife and just pretend I didn't and then watch it again. That's how much I'm into it. I can't really admit it at work because my boss hates it. He compares it to This Is Us because he says everybody cries all the time. I don't know. I think it's very intense.
Yeah,
It
I
doesn't-
haven't heard anybody say they don't like it. I just know I can't do it. It's too much for me.
I really like it. Have you watched it, Chad?
no, I'll have to check it out. I keep hearing people talk about it though.
I don't watch medical or police dramas for the most part. Like, I've never watched a police drama. I mean, I'm sorry. I've never watched a medical drama like House or I don't know any of the other ones.
Yeah, me and Hannah watched like 9 seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy, I never watched that.
House is legit. I love House.
Yeah, House is good.
It's just not a genre that like ever interested me. And those shows strike me as more of like a relationship show that's probably more about the relationship between the doctor and one of his nurses or something. I don't know. And so like this show is not that. This show is like about the medical stuff. And yeah, the interpersonal relationships are there. That's what TV shows are all about, but it doesn't focus on that. There's no like love story run through it like there was like in Nurse Jackie. Oh, I'm a liar. I did watch Nurse Jackie, but only recently. So, but the Pit is just super intense. And from what I understand, what I've heard from medical people, friends of mine, that they're pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Like,
heard the same.
But do they break into the person's house to find out why they are ill
No.
and find the
They do that
terminal?
on House.
Yeah,
No,
all the
that's not
time.
gonna
Yeah,
happen.
House
Oh,
is
God.
awesome.
No, that's not going to happen.
House is like, hey, you know what we're gonna do for this patient? Let's just go break into their house.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They'll find what's wrong, though. He will figure it out.
Okay. Sounds like that show jumped the shark early on.
No, House is awesome.
Okay. Right on.
Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to bring up to rag on Jesse really hard about, and I wanted it on recorded podcast. The fact that you don't like Rush Hour is one of the craziest
my
things
God.
to me that I've literally ever heard.
It's so corny. It's so cheesy. How can you find any of that funny?
How can I not? Do
It's
you
so
understand the
funny.
words that are coming out of my mouth?
Don't nobody
Okay.
understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, man.
I mean, I had entirely enough Chris Tucker on Friday. And after that, and if
So you
you've
didn't
ever
like him in that? If you said
No,
that,
I did like I did, but that's all I needed. And then if have you ever seen The Fifth Element?
Yeah.
With Bruce
Yeah.
Willis.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't need any more Chris Tucker ever again after that. He just does
What?
not. He's not. I don't like him. I don't like the things he says or the way he says them. They annoy me. Oh God, I sound so old.
you are old.
Chris Tucker is literally a national
In the
treasure.
90s, Chris
Oh,
Tucker
jeez.
was phenomenal.
I
mean,
will
wasn't
watch.
Wasn't he just
anything
high on
Chris Tucker
PCP
is
the
on.
whole time? Wasn't that his deal?
And
Or is
on
that just-
Friday, that was the.
Or is that
the
just
skit.
Smokey?
Yeah, that was Smokey.
But I think
Yeah.
he did have issues.
Yeah, he was funny.
I
I just wanted the podcast record to make sure.
I just
that was
disagree. I
done.
just disagree. I think that those movies are cheesy and not funny, and I couldn't make it through. I tried.
That is
the
ridiculous.
amount of times I've watched Rush Hour 1 and 2. I've watched it probably 5 times a piece.
Look,
Not
I
this year because
understand-
we're in March, but in
I
the past 12
understand if
months for sure.
They're movies that you grew up with, and they were funny to you as a kid, so that they're funny to you now. I understand that, but if like
No, it's just a good
yeah,
movie.
That's not. Yeah, like I loved Anchorman growing up. I don't like Anchorman anymore.
I mean,
I don't
it
find
was
it funny.
It was funny for the time. It's dated now.
Yeah, Rush
A lot
Hour is
of-
not like that.
Rush
Yeah,
Hour
no,
is
it
timeless.
is.
Absolutely.
No, it's not. No,
Rush Hour
it's
is timeless.
timelessly cheesy. It will always be cheesy and corny.
I truly think you're the first person I've ever heard say that.
I've
Wow.
literally never met a person that didn't like Rush Hour.
Yeah, that I can't bring it up to,
It's-
and we laugh about like 5 different scenes.
It's
I don't
literally
have a friend that I could sit down and watch that movie with.
It's literally
You had me.
like if there was somebody that I had nothing at all ever in this world to say anything to, right? Like we had nothing in common. I might bring up Rush Hour and be like, "Man, I just watched Rush Hour yesterday," and we can at least have that conversation.
Yeah, and they would like it too.
Yeah, they would love it. And we talk
are you
about the Snoopy scene. That's probably not something that could be done today.
I
Or
don't even know what that is.
That's the problem.
yeah.
Are you going to say the same thing about Fast and Furious?
The
No.
first one's really good, but it's dated. Too Fast, Too Furious is really good, but it's dated. And
Okay.
after that, I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
they're iconic. I'll watch them, and probably part of that's because I grew up on it. But
Okay.
no, I've still never seen 9 or 10, and I'm a huge car person. Never seen them.
I
To
did
me,
I did
to-
like the first one, actually.
Yeah.
But I was a lot younger. Go ahead,
To me,
John.
Rush Hour is like Elf.
Yeah, it's a great
Or
movie too.
like
That's blasphemy.
It's
And it's one of the greatest Christmas movies ever. It's
I agree.
yeah, Rush Hour
it-
is one of the greatest
It
comedies.
could be on the Rush comedies ever.
It's up there
could-
for me.
We're just not going to agree on this.
And same thing with Friday. That's another. That is
Oh, Friday's
the
hilarious.
Friday
Yeah, Friday's
trilogy is
amazing.
what might be one of my favorite trilogies of all time.
Friday After Next makes me want to cry, though.
Wow.
It's just.
I love
Good.
it. The more I watch it, the more I like it.
Is that the one with Pinky
Yeah.
and the baby powder?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I think the problem is that Chris Tucker was a genius in Friday,
he was.
and then Mike Epps just is a poor excuse.
But see, you got to accept him for who he is, and it's really good then.
When I go back and watch next Friday, I can do that. That's the one at the strip mall, right?
No, that's the third one.
With Cat Williams. Oh, okay. All right. Then that one's grown on me.
Yeah. The second one's when they're at his house, when they,
right.
they move out of the hood.
Right. Okay.
Man,
yeah, that one's
I-
that one's actually probably not as good as Friday After Next. Now I think about it. But go on, Jeff.
I love that Chris Tucker, found God and got religious and didn't want to do any of those, secular movies anymore and stuff. But I wish he had postponed that a little bit.
Yeah, let the Friday 4 come out that they
Yeah.
agreed to, and then he didn't.
Uh,
That sucks.
Yeah. Pretty upsetting.
But yeah, that's all I got. I just wanted to make sure the audience knew that Jesse's had no taste in movies, but I still like him as a friend.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Let's just go rip some packs.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the front office. The lights are low, the boards are lit, and the Dynasty clock is ticking. From the heart of the startup draft to the championship throne, one crew rules the long game. Give it up for the undisputed architects of empire. Dynasty